We have a very long way to go before we reach the peak, and I cannot say enough about how important it is for you to continue to stay home.
Now at 5 o'clock, state leaders once again urging Hoosiers to stay inside, warning that the surge in coronavirus cases has already started in Indiana. Governor Eric Holcomb telling Hoosiers that the state's main goal is to keep our healthcare system from collapsing.
Meanwhile, Brooke, the coronavirus task force is set to give its daily briefing any moment now. We'll bring that to you live as it begins. Until then, though, we have team coverage for you tonight, and we begin with News 8's David Williams. He's in Boone County, where officials, David, are getting ready for that surge in cases.
From hosting horse clinics and fish fries to swap meets and VIP pig sales. And now they're going medical. Boone County's 4-H Fairgrounds is ready to serve as an overflow medical area for COVID-19 patients.
We really need to be as prepared as humanly possible in case the worst case scenario happens. So we really hope that we don't need to use this building.
It's designed for those coronavirus patients who may not be well enough to go home, but do not need intensive care.
Our idea here is we're going to turn this into what could help with the surge capacity of Witham Hospital.
Pepin tells me they need 36 hours notice from the Boone County Unified Command Center to get this up and running smoothly.
The first 24 hours of that is fogging for one last sanitation of the building, and then 12 hours to get all of our equipment set up and ready to go.
Inside, there are 75 patient beds, plus blankets, pillows, and necessities.
There are showers and bathrooms and everything available on site here. We're working with a number of caterers to bring food in for these folks when we bring them in. It will be a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week operation once we stand it up.
With social distancing, the building could eventually support about 125 COVID-19 patients.
We really hope that all these resources that we're putting into it don't need to be used, but we need to be prepared as much as we can just in case that happens.
It took about 4 days to sanitize every surface from top to bottom. Even the HVAC ventilation system is disinfected.
We need to show some of that Hoosier grit, and we need to take care of others. We need to take care of ourselves.
Bottom line, Boone County health officials say you should take COVID-19 seriously.
From the data that I have seen, the reliable research that's coming from the experts that are respected in their field, they are saying, yes, this has the potential to get very, very serious. It's very serious now, especially in areas like New York and then Italy.
In Lebanon, David Williams, Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook.
David, thank you very much. The state health department confirming 14 new deaths today. 49 Hoosiers have died overall. 374 additional positive cases were also announced. That makes for a total of 2,159 cases statewide. Meanwhile, the state health commissioner today said that she believes the surge has started, but is far from reaching its peak. The state's still looking at a peak between mid-April and mid-May. The governor did sign 2 new executive orders today. The first is to extend the to-go only policy for restaurants and bars through April 6th. The second waives the statute to allow e-notary rules to take effect. Governor Eric Holcomb says the first priority is to get through the coronavirus crisis. Then he'll consider relaxing restrictions in the Hoosier state.
What we don't want to do is be premature about just reflexively jumping back after we hit that peak and come down and appear to be, because you've seen around the world where it'll slope back up again. So the numbers that I'm looking at is on a gradual, methodical way of we'll always be in this new normal. Things will be different going forward for obvious reasons, but the numbers will drive when we ultimately make these decisions.
The governor also mentioned schools today. He says to expect an announcement in the next 48 hours or when and if they will reopen. We'll keep you posted. Well, as of just a few hours ago, there are 5 Marion County Sheriff employees, 12 firefighters, and 12 IMPD officers that have tested positive for the COVID-19 virus. News 8's Richard Essex has been working this story and joins us now live from downtown. Richard.
Now, we have been told that the surge of positive patients that tested positive for the virus is coming sometime in mid-April, but right here downtown at IMP headquarters and across the street, the Sheriff's Department, the numbers are already on the rise. Indianapolis Metro Police are reporting 12 officers that have tested positive for COVID-19, a 60% increase from last week. In an attempt to slow or stop the spread of the virus, the department has temporarily closed most of their offices, the exception being the Emergency Operations Center and the Training Academy. The department sent a statement to News 8. We are doing everything we can to help keep the entire first responder population healthy so we can ensure a consistent level of response for all types of runs that we get. The Indianapolis Fire Department is reporting 11 firefighters from separate stations with confirmed cases of COVID-19. 5 employees of the Marion County Sheriff's Office have tested positive for the virus. 2 deputies that work in the courts, 2 in the jail, and a deputy and civilian employee and 1 administrative employee. According to a statement sent to Wish TV, there are no Marion County inmates that have tested positive for COVID-19, and no inmates are currently being held in isolation for suspected cases, nor for suspected contact with persons known to have tested positive for COVID-19. Wish TV is told the Marion County courts are working with the prosecutor's office to lower the population of the jail. At this point, the sheriff's office did not provide a number of inmates that have been released. When inmates are brought into the jail, they are screened by an outside health care provider. The same applies for all jail staff prior to their shift. Now, just a few minutes ago, the fire department did confirm that they have now 12. One more firefighter has tested positive for the COVID-19 virus. The fire department has not released the total number of firefighters that have been quarantined. And now the police department is saying that they, of all of the dozens of officers that have gone and been tested, 26 of them have come back negative. Now, we did reach out to the mayor's office about what is being done from the 25th floor of the city county building about all of these positive tests. We'll have that coming for you at 6 o'clock. In downtown Indianapolis, Richard Essex, Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook.
All right, Richard, thanks so much. A traffic stop on I-69 has led to charges for a Kentucky man over Indiana's stay-at-home order. That includes being off the streets. News 8's Aaliyah Hodges joins us live with more on that. Aaliyah.
Well, a man from Kentucky is behind bars after a traffic stop that led to several charges of drug possession and a stolen gun. The Hamilton County Prosecutor's Office tacked on another charge, disobeying a declaration of disaster emergency. This is the first time the county has ever issued someone this misdemeanor charge. State police arrested 24-year-old Zachary Peters from Kentucky Friday night. Police tell us an officer stopped Peters from driving 96 miles an hour along I-69 near Noblesville. That's when police found marijuana, cocaine, pills, a stolen gun, and drug paraphernalia in Peters' vehicle. He faces several felony charges, plus a misdemeanor for violating the state's order for essential travel only. A Hamilton County deputy prosecutor told me they rarely issue such a charge, but they consider it depending on if the offense was done knowingly, intentionally, or recklessly to an officer's discretion. Peter is at least the 4th person charged with the crime in the past 2 weeks. In Monroe County, 24-year-old Abraham Baker faces the charge after crashing into a tree last week. Investigators say he was intoxicated at the time. Reached out to the prosecutor's office. I've reached out to the prosecutor's office in Marion County, Hendricks, and Johnson County. None of them have issued anyone of this charge. Reporting in Noblesville, I'm Aaliyah Hodges, Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow our Facebook.
Aaliyah, thank you. Indy Parks is closing certain basketball courts to discourage group activities. The Indy Parks director says she's concerned about patterns of group play in the parks. IMPD park rangers will be patrolling, reminding people to enjoy public spaces while still practicing social distancing. Well, a local hotel kitchen is turning into a place to help feed the hungry.
That's right. Hundreds of meals will be provided each day for those struggling during this difficult time. News 8's Sarah Hignite has more.
A partnership between the Alexander Hotel and Second Helpings is not only helping to feed hundreds of people in the Indianapolis area during a time of need, but it's also helping some people get back to work. During a time where people have been ordered to stay home, hotel kitchens are bare. But the Alexander Hotel is transformed into a satellite kitchen for Second Helpings through a partnership with the Buckingham Foundation. Initially, the Buckingham Foundation and the Alexander Hotel were asked to prepare 250 pre-made meals 3 days a week, but they feel moving forward they could prepare up to 400 meals a day and pick up additional days throughout the week. The hotel is also preparing 50 meals a day that the Buckingham Foundation will distribute to local artists and families of essential workers. The reality of the current situation has been difficult for many, but through this partnership, they hope to bring some positivity and relief.
We have to think about all the different tastes out there. What we would like in spicy foods and things like that, we want to keep that kind of to a minimum. And we hope that moving forward, as we get to more and more quantities, we can bring more and more people back and keep them working and keep the community fed too.
The Buckingham Foundation and the Alexander are also partnering with other community organizations throughout the city. To get more information on this program and how you can get involved, you can head to our website, wishtv.com. Reporting downtown, I'm Sierra Hignite, Wish TV News 8, wishtv.com, and follow me on Twitter.
Thank you very much. Our coverage of the coronavirus continues online. There at the top of our homepage, you'll find a banner linking you to all of our stories, an interactive map tracking cases across the world. That's all right now at wishtv.com.